Syria some 40 years ago to work on Muslim-Christian relations. He refurbished a 1,000-year-old monastery and invited Syrians of all faiths to talk and to pray together. But as the rebellion mounted, Father Paolo was forced to take a stand, and for that, he was kicked out of the country. He joins me now from Washington for his first television interview since then. Father Paolo, thank you very much for being with me.
Thank you to you for having me.
What precisely was your offense in the eyes of the regime?
I just had asked to protect the people in the hospitals, to stop to torture people, to protect the campus of universities, to bring back to people the freedom of express their opinions and to ask for democracy. This is all what I asked for, and for this I've been kicked out.
In the many, many years and decades that you were in Syria, as a Christian, as a Catholic priest, were you able to operate freely there? Were you able to worship and to be a pastor to the Christians freely?
We have to recognize that the society of Syria, that is plural in itself from before the system of Ba'ath and Assad regime, we have always been able to live together and have a real freedom of religion expression. It is anyway a fact that the 40 years of regime were a totalitarian regime repressing all hope for freedom and liberation. The church was free to express the religion, but not to go in promoting the freedom of people and the. Yeah.
Well, in that regard, then, where do the Christians stand in this war, in this uprising right now? Is it as I said, as I posed the question? Do they think that the Assad regime will protect them as a minority, like it has the Alawite minorities, or are they with the rebellion?
We can consider that a big number of people belonging to minorities in different ways, they believe that the regime was a solution for them. Now I think they are changing their opinion. But many Christians have been imprisoned because they've asked for human rights, for democracy, for change. Many Christian youth have been suffering with their Muslim classmates for the ongoing revolution.
And back to your story briefly, had you not left when they ordered you out, well, had you not been a foreigner, an Italian, do you think that you would have suffered a worse fate? Do you think something worse would have happened to you than being deported?
I think I was in a concrete danger, and many people hoped that I would be kicked out in order not to be killed in that condition. Also, we have to take in mind that the society in Syria is losing any kind of coherence, and so everything can happen. And there is militias that act without waiting to have orders.
Mm-hmm. Have you come across those, the famous sort of Shabiha militias?
I know some of those people. We are in one society that is completely interconnected, and some youth has been drawn to that ideology and this behave that negate the freedom of their citizens, the people living.
What do they do? What is their order? What do they do?
They are the classical militias. They are parallel to the army, but more ideologically charged with energy and hate. So they can act out of any law, and they do.
We have seen reports, we've heard reports of Christians being attacked in Syria in these past few months. We've seen a convent that was attacked. We're hearing these reports trickle out. Is it the rebellion? Is it the rebels doing that against these Christian enclaves and places of worship?
We can say, and I think I'm really deeply right, saying that the Christians are not tackled, they are not looked at as a purpose for the revolution. They are not enemy of the revolution at all. The Christians have not been fought as such at all. Some of them are in the militias, some of them are in the army. So far, they are in the fight. But the Christian as such has not been attacked I would say in most of the cases. But the more the international community is not assuming responsibility for the destiny of Syria, for the democracy of Syria, then we are giving more opportunities to all kinds of extremisms to have more power, to have more space of action. And so things that happen in Iraq against Christians can happen in Syria easily in the coming weeks if now, and this is my request from the deepest of my heart, in the name of so many youth, democratic youth of Syria, of all belongings, to Russia, to Iran. Why to use Syria for regional conflicts? There is a revolution for democracy, and there is civil war. The United Nations should come and stop the civil war and bring back the possibility for the people of Syria to have the mutation toward democracy that they deserve.
Father, what do you make of the Orthodox Church, the Russian Orthodox Church, not, I mean, you know, sort of siding, it seems to us outsiders anyway, with the Assad regime?
It's really a pain to see our fellow Christians not being able to stand for the human dignity. And so far, also creating conditions for bad developments in the future. I hope that the Christian of Russia, our beloved brothers and sisters in this church of Russia, will be able to have the pressure on the Russian government to change the attitude. This attitude will not protect Christians. This attitude will divide the country, will create perhaps for a while a ghetto of Alawites and Christians somewhere, but in the end of the day, this will be losing for the Christian all the cultural and moral space for the action, for the good of Syria and the Middle East.
You mentioned Iraq and what's happened to the Christian community in Iraq, and as we know, so many of them have left. What do you, in your heart and in your head, really believe will be the fate of the Christian community in Syria for the future? Will it be able to stay? Will they leave? Are they leaving now?
Many are leaving already. Many are displaced inside the country because of the conflict. Many will leave in coming weeks and months. And we are losing our Christians and our Christianity, their role inside the Muslim community, the Muslim society. We are one society. We've been always one. Muslim, Christian, and Jews, we've been one Arabic society. We want to bring this back. I don't know how many Christians will participate to it in the coming years. I hope to be there.
Father Paolo, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you to you and all. Thanks.
And we'll be right back with much more.